Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, I shared my screen. Hope my screen is visible to all of you. I'm on the
Yes.
technical side of the presentation. Okay. Myself, Nalini Kumar. I look after the technology over here in this organization, and I also am one of the co-founder of this organization, Incresol Software Services Private Limited. Okay, so today's webinar topic is more on the supply chain digitization, because which is a very hot topic nowadays, and many companies are going towards digitizing their processes in the supply chain in a phased manner or in the bits and pieces manner. So we thought of conducting this webinar to give you more awareness, what all the areas that you can focus on while planning your digital supply chain process. And also with respect to SAP, how you can plan. And also we have a tool called P-Collab, which is mainly for this digitization process of a supply chain. And it works closely or in a, it's like very easy to integrate manner with SAP ERP systems. So the agenda for today is like, I'd like to give you a brief about what is digital supply chain. So why exactly we are talking about it, and what are the benefits we are going to get, and what are the different use cases, and how to plan your journey to digital supply chain. If you're not yet started, or if you're already started, then you can think if anything can be added further by looking at this. And after that, we'd like to give you a quick introduction about our P-Collab. It's like a SaaS-based platform which will be useful for the supply chain automation, and followed by question and answers. If at all, if you have any questions in between, feel free to drop your queries in the Q&A section or in the chat window, and we will try to address as quick as possible or at the end of the session. Thank you once again for joining this webinar. So first, we'll see what exactly is a digital supply chain. Before that, so before getting into the digital supply chain, we'll try to understand what is the traditional supply chain process, how exactly it will work. The traditional is more of a sequential process. Okay, so it's like a series of process steps will be involved, and it will be handled or monitored or observed in a sequential manner than in a multiple at a time. So one of that is like, first one is like more of a procurement part of it. First, you will design your product from the R&D department or a development center, and from which you identify what all the materials required or what are the compositions required. Then you will try to source the vendors from your procurement team and try to finalize the vendors. Then you will initiate the procurement. And after that, the procurement, whatever you purchase from the vendors, that will come as.
Nalini, 1 second. There is a question actually. They cannot see your screen now.
Is it visible to you?
To interrupt you.
Is it visible to you, or for you also it's not happening?
Nalini, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you. I'm sharing it again. Okay, please give me a moment.
Please. Okay.
Maybe some network connectivity issue.
Yeah.
So are you able to see my screen now?
Let me find out with the other attendees. I'm able to view your screen.
Okay, so if it is visible to you, probably it might be visible for others as well.
No, actually.
I'm on the presentation mode. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Shall I go ahead?
I'm just waiting for the answer from the attendees actually.
Yeah,
because
that's okay.
I'm able.
I guess that's fine. If you are able to see it, probably many others also might see it, might be able to access or view my screen.
Done.
Okay.
Go ahead. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Kiran, for reminding me about the issue of my screen display.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. So we are discussing about the traditional supply chain process, how it works. Even in SAP or whatever the systems we use, there are a bit of disconnect between the different processes we handle as part of the supply chain. Okay, or it depends on what all the modules of SAP you are using or what all the features you have activated within SAP. Okay, so it starts with the designing from your R&D team, or the particular product or the composition of a product and all, or the formulation. Then it will go for the sourcing and procurement, identify the right vendors for the raw materials, packaging materials, or the stores or the spares. So all those sourcing and procuring will take place, and the inbound logistics will take place. This is all part of the procurement and the procurement of your key ingredients or the materials for your manufacturing process. Then the manufacturing will depend on this particular planning. Okay, and here there is a possibility that your designs got changed. That should be well in advance. They communicated to your partners, right? So otherwise, what will happen? They keep send the material in the old fashion. That may not be usable for your manufacturing. That may be one simple example or a scenario. So manufacturing wise, so the production plant for always looks at the demand, and then they will try to plan it. And this may happen in the Excel sheets or based on your MRP runs. There are various ways you can handle this demand and planning. Okay, so once the demand and planning comes, you will come to know about the raw material requirement. You will place the procurement. Once the raw materials and everything is available, the production will take place, and the final goods will be available in the FG inventory. And after that, it's like in continuation date, your marketing and sales team work on finding the customers and sell these goods. Okay, so that's more like capturing the order from your customers and providing the quotations. After that, you initiate the logistics. Like you also need to arrange the logistics from your transporters or the freight vendors to supply these goods, and then dispatches. So once the dispatch started, you need to update your customers, because the customers are very keen about when exactly the particular material is going to arrive to their premises. So along with that, proof of delivery and all you need to follow. So currently, this is all a sequential process. If there is any interlink failure or anywhere the gap is there, the identifying the root cause is a very lengthy or time-taking process, or it may be a days, or maybe in days or in weeks. Okay, so to identify and correct that particular issue. So considering that type of dependencies in these particular traditional approaches, okay, so that here I'm highlighting few of the problems. Okay, the visibility across all the stakeholders. For example, the procurement versus sales versus the production, it's hard to enable a proper visibility across all the parties. So all your stakeholders like suppliers or the customers or the transporters, there are various parties involved in this whole supply chain process. So there is a limited visibility, or the closer circuit visibility is available. So considering that, it's like because of this limitation of the visibility, there is a chance that it is hard to address the change of the customer demands, or it will result in different challenging situations. And inefficiency, because a lot of things still, most of the companies are still following the manual processes, and depending on the manual decisions or the manual, it's like knowledge or the knowledge level dependencies. And the paper-based systems are there still. The bills are getting processed over papers, POs are getting exchanged over papers, or various things are happening over paper only. So the information is scattered here and there. So that results into a lot of inefficiency of achieving your team productivity or the employees productivity of your company as part of the supply chain process. And forecasting challenges, as the information is not real time and also not available across all the stakeholders uniformly. Considering that the forecasting with the limited information, or the information with the gaps only used for the forecasting, that may result in the overstocking or the understocking scenarios. So because of that, that will definitely hit your production, and effectively it will create a big problem. And limited collaboration, because all these communications, suppose procurement is following up with the vendors and they are saying some delivery date, the delivery date is not updated anywhere. So the production don't know when exactly the RM is coming. Again, production team call the procurement team. Like that, there are always offline communications, or the over the calls or the emails. The information is scattered here and there. So it's hard to collaborate. So as the information is scattered across different places, or not written or tracked anywhere at all. So those collaboration issues also there in the traditional process. Otherwise, the risk management, because of these different challenges, the risk is also high. And also in case of any natural calamities or the disasters happens, then responding to it also will take more time compared to the companies who adopted the digital transformation journey or the digital supply chain journey. And high lead times, as I said, because of the information gap, no real-time informations and all, it's hard to give a optimize the timelines to your customers for deliveries and all. So that definitely hit your customer satisfaction, and also makes you in a back of the queue in terms of competition of your peer competitors or the companies who are doing better in terms of delivery timelines or the quality. And higher operating costs, because of the everything we are spending more here in terms of the manual manpower or in terms of the inventory, various cases. So that definitely result in the operating cost of the COGS will become higher. And flexibility, because it's a sequence, because of the it's like disconnected process, the flexibility is also not there in this particular process. And last but not the least, it's the data driven insights. The traditional systems like even SAP ECC and all also having each area wise report, but not as a consolidated report, or the intelligent reports not available, or there is no strong analytical engine on top of this supply chain process. That is going to be a big gap. So if you have those information in the right manner and visible to the right people in a good manner, then automatically they can take the decisions faster and everything. So that insights is a big gap in the traditional process because of the disconnected information. Okay, so now let's see what is a digital supply chain. So you understand the traditional gaps. Now let's look at the digital supply chain. So as part of the digital supply chain process, so we are trying to overcome, or the industry is trying to overcome all these problems of the disconnections through some approaches, or the technology advancements happened in the recent days or the recent years or the last few years. There was a big drift in the technology stack or the technology world. So the supply chain is getting leveraged with those technologies and making it much better compared to the traditional approaches. So it's nothing but digital supply chain is nothing but use best out of the technologies and take the data from the different sources and club all this information and enable the collaboration between all the stakeholders and bring everyone to a common platform or the common page, so that the information will be shared across and uniformly shared across, and everyone sees the same truth. There won't be multiple truths in this case. So that is the goal of digital supply chain, so that the decision makers will take a faster decisions, and also we can optimize the cost of the whole process, supply chain process, or the cost of the goods. So that's nothing but you are streamlining your flow of goods, supply chain process goods from your suppliers to till the customer journey will be streamlined, and also the information flow across the stakeholders is streamlined, and the finance is also streamlined because you can predict the things much better than the traditional ways. And most of these digital supply chain concepts or the approaches works more towards the customer centric approaches, because if we sell more, we can grow more. That's a simple philosophy, right? So all these approaches are towards the customer centric, so that how best we can give to the customer, or how fast we can give to the customer, how much customization or the variant possibilities we can give to the customer as per their choice. So those options are considered as part of digital supply chain, so that you can sell better compared to your competitors if you are advanced with the digital supply chain approaches. And the good feature is like near time visibility. That's the goal of this particular digital supply chain, so that I said that the source of truth will be uniform across. There won't be multiple sources of truth, considering there won't be any multiple disconnected channels. Everything will come to a single channel from multiple sources. So everyone can see the same information, so that the decisions will also flow in the right manner. Okay, so considering the seamless and the streamlined system, the advantage is going to be you can increase your supplying or the buying capabilities as well, or you can also engage your more suppliers. Even though the process is very complex, you can adapt to them. You can hire more suppliers, and so that you can also handle the different ways of disruptions that may come on the way easily with the help of these seamless tools or the seamless digital supply chain process. Okay, so the important thing I said that you use your ERP and you use your CRM systems, maybe SRM systems, maybe some other applications. There can be n number of systems, and your partners use different systems. So the goal of this digital supply chain is to grab the information from all the sources, bring it to a common place, and enable it for the decision makers or the consumers, whoever want to use that information to take the decisions or the executive process, or whatever the way they want to use it, whether it's a structured data, unstructured data. So in the current days of technology, it doesn't make any difference if it's structured or unstructured data, because with the help of generative AI, for example, you can use unstructured data and take the derivations of the decisions much easier, or you can summarize the outcome of that particular unstructured data as well. So like that, the technology is helping a lot to achieve this type of integrations and derivation of the or derivations of the data outcomes. And also you can use the AI and ML concepts to enable some level of predictability on the data. So that will help you to plan better, execute better, and dispatch of the supply better. So there are some key pillars as part of digital supply chain. Okay, I haven't mentioned all, but few I picked up. which I felt that most important for the SAP customer journey. So some of the key components are like collaboration platform is a must, okay, because the most of the time the information gap is happening because of the disconnectedness between the partners. Here partner means that can be your customer, that can be your vendor, that can be your employee, or that can be a transporter. So name any of them. So there is a big disconnect. All these are different entity-based people, and all the communications might be happening over calls, WhatsApp, or different channels. So there is no unification of these information, or there is no any common platform to exchange the information. So then it will become just a big challenge. Okay, so considering that the collaboration platform you need to build or you need to take, that is going to be a key game changer as a starting point of your digital supply chain journey. So that everyone will come to a common platform. So there's a collaboration platform where they can see the same information, what you see versus what the partners see. Everything is going to be same. And e-commerce and e-procurement, okay, this is just a terminology. It doesn't mean that you need to host a Shopify portal or some e-commerce portals or the hybrid flavor portal. It depends on your nature of business. If it is a regular B2B business, you can enable some sort of intent capturing tools or the portal or the apps. Or if it is a big retail type of business, you can go with some good e-commerce oriented platform, so that where customers can place the orders by self. Instead of they send an email or someone need to sit here and type the data, and all that all can be enumerated. Whoever wants that particular outcome, they just input it and that will flow further. That means we are eliminating a lot of data entry work and the process headaches or the manual gaps in terms of fulfilling the orders and all. The system will automatically trigger the business process flows, and then from there you can take the further actions immediately, so that you can optimize the time a lot. And automation and robotics, this is very crucial nowadays. This is happening a lot in various process levels. Either it can be for your inventory level, or it can be at the fulfillment level, or it can be at the dispatches level. Various levels, there are the automation robotics possibilities are there. Okay, so you can enable those things to automate the things, so that the less dependency on human and more just like quality outcome can be expected from this. Then data analytics, because the data is a key here for any supply chain planning or the forecasting and also decision making. So you need to have a strong data analytics component as well as part of your digital supply chain journey. So that's the one thing must to be considered as part of your digital supply chain. AI and ML. So it's almost last 2 to 3 years, the AI and ML era got started a lot. Before it was more towards the consumer oriented aspects, AI and ML are covered, but now more of the industrial or the business aspects also getting covered as part of the digital supply chain process, like the predicting your delivery dates, or the predicting in terms of your forecast, or the predicting in terms of the planning level predictions. A lot of insights are coming automatically from the system based on the last 5 years data, 2 years data, or based on the data keep on getting added to the system. So you need to keep in mind that as part of a digital supply chain journey, try to keep this AI and ML introduction also at some point of time, so that would definitely add value. IoT, this is not a new thing, but it's almost a 10-year or 30 or 40-year old, we can say. Okay, in the industry level, IoT was there for quite some time. Okay, from PLC SCADA level to the various levels. Okay, so the IoT devices, it's like now the communication is very seamless with IoT devices. So whatever happening on the shop floor or in your silos or the different levels, you can easily get that information on real time to your ERP systems or your digital supply chain systems. That would help you to plan the things much faster than earlier, or than depending on a manual process. Integrations is the most important thing, because earlier it's more like a centralized system approach, but now it's more we are going for a decentralized approach. That's a new trend. Or last 3-4 years or 5 years, I can say that most of the decentralized approaches are getting customers are adopting it, because they want to use the best in the market for a specific problem statement. For example, CRM, Salesforce you might be using, or the HubSpot you might be using, or some other CRM might be using, or for ERP, SAP you might be using, and for other type of problems for procurement you might be using Ariba. Okay, so like that, there are various systems are touching your supply chain process. Okay, so that the information is scattered across different systems, but the decision makers, it's hard for them to log into each system and check the things. If you want to bring it a unification or the whole data to a single platform, the integration is a key thing or the important thing. So the integration should also be enabled properly across systems, so that the information will be transparent across all stakeholders based on the requirement. So this is how it looks like. We saw the traditional supply chain, it's a sequential process, whereas the digital supply chain is more like a control tower based approach. Okay, so every process work on its own manner. Okay, for example, you want suppliers are there, so from the control tower, it will take a decision that how much you need to order to the transporter or the supplier in terms of the RM or the PM or the whatever the different type of material you want to purchase. And also the planning will happen from the supply tower, control tower, and order will be placed to the supplier. And when the vehicle is initiated, you can enable a tracking on the top of it, so that the control tower or this core system is going to get the whole information about the updates, and based on that information, the central control tower is going to take the further decisions, or the users use this control tower system to take the decisions easily. Earlier, it used to be like the suppliers and this particular procurement part used to handle separately, and the production separately, and all this used to happen different places, right? So with the help of control tower approach, it will orchestrate all the information from the different sources. Either it can be a tracking of your vehicles, or it can be a supplier inventory status, or the stock availability at the supplier level, or based on your demand and forecasting, placing orders to suppliers. All those will happen from the control tower, so that one system is handling all, even though they are disconnected, it is going to be a main decision maker. So that will orchestrate the whole supply chain process. Okay. So the goods will come to the manufacturing company, then it will go to the, once the manufacturing and the finished goods are produced, you will have your transporters. Your transporters also will be engaged as part of this control tower of this supply chain process. So you can hire the transporter based on the contractual basis or based on the on-spot booking, whatever the way you want to go. So you engage your transporters and update the information to the transporters. So that means the transporters also will be part of this journey, and also they can get the updates on a real-time manner. So that's a goal, so that they can assign the vehicle. They can again update back the information back to you, that which vehicle is coming with that, what's the tracking ID, and also that you can see the whole real-time information of the whole process cycle from supplier procurement to the customer supply. If your business is running through a distributor network, then the distributors will place the orders to the manufacturing plant or your trading unit. So the distributors place the digital intent from the digital supply chain platform, and from there you enable the supply or the supply to the distributors. At the same time, the distributors take the orders from retailers and supply that to them. From retailers, it will go to the customer. So at each level, you are enabling a transparency of the information and tracking the things. So with the help of that, whole information is coming to the control tower, from which you can control the things, or you can react to the changes very fast compared to the earlier approaches. This is typically we try to, as part of digital supply chain process, we try to adopt this type of approach with the different components, or a component, or a single tool, or a single platform. So with the help of digital supply chain, definitely it will enable agility in your business and velocity for the adaptation, like any changes or the go-to-market wise or the innovations wise, you are very fast enough. And the transparency across all the stakeholders, the information, everything will be transparent and with utmost integrity. Okay, now let's quickly spend on why digital supply chain. So there are studies happened. Okay, so it's like some of the studies says that most of the CPOs or the CSCOs, like a digital supply chain, chief supply chain officers, observed that most of the times the failures are related to the gap of information or the visibility of the data. Okay, so the poor visibility across supply chain was the biggest challenge. Because of that, lot of interruptions or the inefficiencies happening in the business, and also that may resulting into the lot of money spending by the companies. And also the Gartner study predicts that by 2023, at least 50% of the large international companies are running towards this digital supply chain adaptation process. Okay, either IoT based or the RF based or the AI based, various cases, various options are available. So based on your business scenario, that can be adopted. So the prediction is like most of the companies are running towards that. So that's another reason we thought of starting this webinar series. And the way it's like the distillation is going to help to address all these problems, because that will help you to improve the visibility or extend the visibility of the information and the transparency, and also the accountability of the users can also be built from here. So that's the most important thing to make the whole process works in a seamless manner. And also you need to have a collaborative networks between buyers, suppliers, or the strategic partners, stakeholders, customers, transporters, whoever it is participating in this whole supply chain. There should be a good collaborative network, or the system is required to exchange the information as part of this whole value chain. Okay, let's see some of the benefits. Okay, I may take a couple of more minutes on this. So the first benefit is you will get the visibility of the information across all stakeholders. That's already we discussed. And process automation is very much possible because all the information is coming to the central source. Okay, so central system. So there that helps you to take decisions and enable automation and streamline the processes. Either it can be a bots oriented automation or it can be a system based, or the programmatic automations can be done easily. And you can eliminate the manual data entries because the data is flowing digitally, so that can be used for the next level triggers. For example, intent came from the customer in the digital format, you can create a sales order automatically in SAP. Okay, or something like that. Or if the supplier is sending a goods and they issued an advanced shipping note to you, and that can automatically flow to SAP and create an inbound delivery against that. So like that, you can do a lot of automations in your system. Cost reduction, definitely, because you are optimizing the process, you are optimizing the manpower or the utilization of the resources, and also you are reducing the reworks or the failures, or you are improving the customer satisfaction. So all these complement in terms of reducing your cost of goods, and also helps you to quickly adopt the new things or innovate new things in almost no time or in a quicker manner compared to the other companies. Inventory optimization is another thing, because you have the real-time insights about your inventory and everything through this digital supply chain process. So you can procure what is really required. You can predict the things, and based on that, the procurement can take place. The prediction success rate also a good amount compared to the manual gut feeling based approaches. So considering that we don't buy over inventory, that means we are not locking our working capital and all. So that will help you to optimize inventory as well as the better utilization of your working capital. Improved planning, because all the information is well available in a single place, or the brought into a common source. So that helps you to do a better decisions in terms of your forecasting and planning aspects, because the orders from the customers are coming to the single place, and also the supplier updates also coming, and also your production capacity and machines also speaking with the system in terms of how much they can produce, or how much raw material left out in their silos or in their conveyors. So all that information is coming, so that you can easily take a decision in terms of your planning or the forecast. So better forecasting can take place. And data and analytics, definitely that will help you to take the decisions faster, and better collaboration. So all stakeholders on the same platform, so that there won't be any offline information. Most of the information, or the 99% of information, you can bring to the common platform, so that there is no any information level dependency on people. Everyone will see the same thing. So there are some of the results observed, okay, as part of the multiple surveys and the research on different organizations performed by few survey companies. So it's like, one of the good thing is like accelerate innovation, like you can fastly adapt to the new things required for the market. That's a 3x is the improvement compared to the people who are not using digital supply chains. And time to market is faster, because you are optimized the whole process chain. So you can reduce it by 20% go to market time. And maximum productivity and efficiency, like 30 to 50% of increased forecast accuracy, and reduced cost, because there won't be much returns and the scrap or the reworks not happening. So because of that, you will say 20 to 50%, because all in intact, everyone giving the digital confirmations, and you are getting all information as and when it's happening on the real moments. So that helps you to minimize this cost and improve customer satisfaction, because customers are getting faster deliveries and with the utmost quality, and they are happy. They are open to give more business to you. So now let's see how to plan your digital supply chain journey. So some of the use cases we can discuss here. So as part of this digital supply chain, there are various components of the pieces of information flow. So one of the information is your partner information, like vendor master, or the vendor onboarding, or the customer onboarding, or your transporter onboarding. So all that is the onboarding of that will happen over the calls, emails. They send something in the mail, and someone need to sit and type, or they upload Excels. There's a lot of things happen in this area, and it is a time-consuming process. And in some companies, we observe that vendor onboarding itself is a 30 to 60-day process. Okay, because of different levels of process, also the information scatteredness and dependencies. So with the digital supply chain process, you can optimize it or bring it to less than 7 days or the 5 days. It depends on your complexity of your process. but that will help you that no data entry is required. You can simply just onboard the vendors in a click away. They will let them fill the data, that the data be automatically verified with the government statutories. And if everything okay and someone need to review it and approve it, then you should create automatically masters in your system. That's how good it is. And the KYP is nothing but know your partner. It's like you periodically send to your vendors, right? You want to seek the information like their quality standards oriented thing and security policies oriented thing in case of service partners, or in case of your engineering or the suppliers, raw material suppliers. There will be various assessments you conduct periodically. And also you check if any changes in their bank information, GST information, or if any changes happen in different addresses, etc. So all those can be happened digitally. No need to always send emails. They send replies, and we'll say one of the data entry guys sit and load the data to system. Instead of that, let the partners work on their data without depending on your team. So that's the goal of this particular thing, so that you can digitize the content well, so that it's less mistake prone, and the ownership of the content will be with the partner only, because what they type, that will be there in the system. Vendor self-service portals. So vendors should be able to log in and access their POs, access their RFQs, and submit proposals, or upload their invoices. They create shipping notes, or whatever it is. Like you can issue a gate pass to the vendor. So all that process can be through the system, so that it's more like a self-service system. So there won't be any calls and phones in terms of what's happening. And also no need to manually remind them that they are missing their schedules in terms of supply. Because most of the times it will happen, your procurement team chase them for the delays in their supply. But if a system is automatically throwing an alerts to their WhatsApp and their emails and the calls, so if the system is automatically taking care of it, then that's more than enough. Even system, if it is able to track that this vendor delayed this many times in terms of supply, okay, that information will be used for future placing of orders. The system, if it has that intelligence saying that, oh, you are awarding to vendor A, and if the system says that this vendor is not supplying on time, that may be that may be an issue in terms of your commitments. So the system says that would be a nice thing, right? Otherwise, we are depending on our procurement team or someone who knows that manually than anywhere recorded in the system. So that intelligence can be provided from the system, and maybe like something like RFQ tender systems. So far proposals still happening through emails or physical copies through couriers and all. So the tendering systems you can enable, so that the whole information flow in digital manner, and the reconciliation time, comparison statement preparation time, awarding time will be much saved. Vendor invoice management, there is more to automate the vendor supplier payments. Dealer customer distribution portals, if you are going through any of these channels, distribution channel or the dealer based networking or the direct customers, so it would be nice to give them access to place their indent directly. In case of distributors, if they want something, they can place the indent directly there. Or for example, in the dairy industry, that's more dynamic industry, I can say, because daily based indent will change. Suppose I want 1,000 liters of toned milk and the 500 liters of full cream milk and 500 sachets of buttermilk, like that. It's like they place based on the existing inventory, the partner. So if I don't get that inventory on time, then my supply will be interrupted, right? Because my truck will start in the evening, 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. That should deliver the goods to all parlors, milk parlors or the booths. So if this information should come on time, because there is a very little time available, few hours of time is there. With that information, we need to plan all other things in terms of supply chain. So all those can be achieved with these portals or the bots or the different technology options available nowadays. And AS-run gate pass management system, mainly in the cement industry and all, we saw that in other industries where the vehicle movement is very high. So the problem is like the congestion at the plants. Because of the congestion at the plant, right material cannot be unloaded at the right time, even though that's emergency material, but the whole congestion happened, the truck cannot get in. So those things can also be handled as part of this system, so that you can assign that, you can mandate your vendors that they should mention when they are sending and tentative timings. You can issue a gate pass based on the gate pass time slot only they can get into the plant, otherwise they cannot be, so that you are not liable for their waiting charges and all. So you can well manage your freight costs and also the vehicle congestion at the plants. So that type of process also you can adopt, so that will help you to optimize. The right materials will be given at the right time based on your priorities or your internal priorities. Everyone will come on their own way. And vehicle tracking systems, this is also another sensitive topic. Nowadays, most of the customers are preferring to enable it. They want to see where exactly the vehicle they send to the customer or the supplier sent to you in terms of raw material. That would help you to plan better in your production process or your batches or whatever it is. So that will give you the better customer satisfaction and you can give the more accurate timelines to the customers. Transportation management system is to optimize your routes or the transportation or the supply of your material goods to the customers, or your intercompany transfers or the stock transfers between your plants and all. So this type of systems are going to help. CRM systems mainly to Incresol is like participate with your customers, capture their orders, quotations, and the service requests. Everything can be handled from here. And demand and planning systems like IBP and all, or APO, they will help you to plan better or forecast better. And direct integration with partner systems. Suppose your partner is fixed partner or a OEM partner for you, so there should be a direct connectivity. You can plan it so that there will be information flow will happen automatically, and most of the process can be automated and without any manual interventions. So these are some of the use cases. You can think about which use case best suits to your need, or which set of use cases are required to you. So you can pick those things and you can put it in your pipeline of digital supply chain roadmap. Okay, in Hindi, I forgot to mention RFID process, or those processes also you can enable. Okay, it's simple. It's like first it's like there is no point in jumping in directly into some of the tool or some sort of process implementation, because I saw that many companies failed because of that. Due diligence is the most important thing we need to do, because there are various factors involved when you are planning for a digital supply chain process, like it's like the people adaptability, and whether that or that particular process digitization is going to help your organization or going to become a more burden. So all those things to be assessed. That means it depends on your SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. Like because of this process, what we are going to get out of it finally, or what are threats, or what are the different weaknesses we have that can be overcome. So those analysis we strongly recommend to do it before implementing any digital supply chain oriented activity, so that would help you to take a right decision. It's not just a blindly some other company implemented, we need to implement. That's not the right approach for digital supply chain, because various stakeholders are involved. It's not just you. So all should complement to that process, then only that will be successful. Define the digital strategy. Okay, you need to define your goals, what you are going to get out of it. Either it can be ROI, what you are expecting, or what are you expecting from the other stakeholders. Okay, all that strategy can be defined. And supplier analysis, in case of suppliers want to be part of this one, you need to conduct some meetings with your suppliers, understand whether they're comfortable to join this one, or whether they it is going to create a more problem than a simplification. So those analysis and risk assessments should be done, and after that you can start investing, or you can start off with the digital capabilities, and you can assess your like what are the digital capabilities, like as I said, different tools, or the hardware oriented GPS trackings, or the RFID based, or NFC based counterfeiting controls. So various things you can start implementing based on the study you have done. Then you need to onboard your people. So I don't recommend to jump onboard everyone at a time, but I recommend that identify a few sample set and onboard them first, trial run on them, observe it, because the various stakeholders are involved. It's not one or two people or that one or two companies, right? So hundreds of companies are going to participate in this one as they are your partners. So better we need to onboard few from different sets of segments and understand the gaps, and then roll out for all. Otherwise, they reject the system or they make the system fail. So better to do this analysis or this particular trial runs before doing anything. And it's a continuous improvement. So you understand, you just assess it, all the metrics are getting achieved or not, what you have expected as per your goals. If not, what are the improvements can be planned that should be done. So it's a typical way you should plan your digital supply chain journey. So that's a brief about digital supply chain. So I'll take another 10 to 15 minutes on the P-Collab. Okay, so P-Collab is our platform which enables your digital supply chain journey easily and seamlessly with SAP. Okay, SAP ERP or other some of the CRM systems like Dynamics or Salesforce and all. So what is the P-Collab? P-Collab stands for partner collaboration. Okay, so we are trying to address the problem statement of collaboration as the biggest challenge as per our analysis of the study. So if we overcome that collaboration and the automation part between the stakeholders, then it will save a lot of your time and lot of recurring sending of the same information to different stakeholders, and all that can be eliminated. So people can focus on their core work than just spending on communications or reconciling the communications. Okay, that part is going to be taken care along with the process automation as part of this particular platform. So this is to build this platform. There are various pre-delivered modules are available. Okay, related to your partner interactions or the partner supply chain process activities. And you can also build your own modules with the help of us or some partner. That is also possible, building your own modules where you see that some additional module is required. So that we are trying to make it like this as a central hub from which you can take a lot of decisions without depending on 10 different systems. The goal of it one is like automation. Automation is one of the goal as part of this, and digitization and transparency of information with the integrity. These are the key parameters we consider as part of this platform. And also it's a fluid UI. It's more like a dynamic UI where you can change some of the pages as per your need. Suppose it's not like a static website with you can add 1 or 2 more fields only. It's not like that. You can redesign the pages as per your need, and because every business has their own different set of information want to capture, right? So that flexibility was given as part of it. And workflow driven process, we have a strong workflow engine. You can map this workflow for any of the business process so that the BPM can be automated, so that the information flow across different people based on the conditions or the constraints you kept as part of workflow, and the right people will take a right decision at the right time. Build your own modules. We already discussed. Integrate with all ERPs and systems. Like SAP wise, we have a ready-made kit. For other ERPs, we have exposed APIs or the different integration options or the webhooks or the event buses. So through which the other ERPs can also be integrated with this particular platform. So what all the partners are getting covered as part of this particular platform? So we covered vendors, we covered customers, we covered distributors as well in this platform, and your agents and consultants. In case of exports and all, there will be different types of agents will involve, right? So all those agents can also use this system to exchange the information or collaborate with your team. Transporters, this big challenging area, the bills processing of transporters or the handling with them. So that also can be handled through this platform, and your employees. So what type of collaboration activities can happen from here? So business data exchange, no need to depend on emails and all. So the data will be exchanged through the system, and the partners will get their own self-service portals through which they can log in, they can access the information, they can provide acknowledgements or the acceptances or different things. Whatever the allowed actions are there, they can do all those activities that will automatically trigger alerts to your team also, so that they can take the further actions. Document exchange in case of some contracts or some other type of agreements or anything, or your purchase orders, invoices, all documents can be exchanged from here. Master data exchange, it's like I said that KYP, know your partners, know your customer, or the master data of vendors, transporters, material, all that can be managed from here. And approvals and acceptances can be handled. Feedback and reviews at every level, you can give a feedback. Suppose based on that particular level of transaction, that particular person give a feedback about the opposite party. Opposite party can give a feedback about this particular person or the other people involved in that process, so that you are collecting a feedback from all the people, so that the feedback will help you to improve yourself, your team internally, or you can take a right decision or the better judgment on your vendors as well. Vendors and partners. Alerts and notifications, help desk and queries, surveys. If you want to conduct some quick surveys with your partners, that can also be possible through this platform. These are some of the feature set, collaborative feature set as part of this one. So this is a platform. I'm using a word called platform again and again. The platform means it's an engine on which you can build your own content, or you can use ready-made modules available. So both the features are available. So it has various technical capabilities, business pre-delivered business modules, and you can build your own modules as well. And some of the examples with and without P-Collab: phone calls, emails, printouts, couriers, manual visits, manual data entry, manual statutory verifications, multiple systems, physical file storages, physical sign-based approvals, Excel sheets data. So there are various things through which the data is getting flowed at different places. So after the P-Collab, it is going to be a unified system from which a whole data flows to with your partners. Okay, that's they can do their own self-service, and manual data entry can be eliminated. Everything will be digitized, and as it is digitized, and it's like a data is flowing from source to the starting to the end to end in a single truth manner. So zero data errors are possible, and quick TAT turnaround time 5 to 10x improvement. We saw it. And workflow approvals and escalations, automated statutory verifications. We have a verification with government systems as well. So if an invoice is uploaded, that will be automatically validated against e-invoice or the IRN or the EVA bill number, whether the information is accurate or not. And if everything okay, then only that invoice will be pushed to the next level. Otherwise, we can stop it at the vendor side itself. So that means most of your clerical work or the data work or the verification work is eliminated by the system. If you feel that some more required, the system is open to add additional validations of the integrations if at all required. Complete audit trail, application to application integrations. So it's a single platform or the system for all collaboration activities. So some of the technical features, the platform has a different technical components. One of them is the document management system, workflow engine, partner onboarding engine, integration with GST, NIC, and postal systems, audit trail engine, data versioning, feedback engine. Like this, there are various technical components are available. Okay, so we can use these components wherever required when we are building a new module. So that would help you to quickly build your requirement and deliver to you. So some of the business features, the partner onboarding. The partner onboarding process is as simple as like you just invite the partner through email ID and phone number. They will receive a link. They just open the link and fill the information, all information about their company. Like you send an Excel sheets to them, right, or email. So instead of that, they just receive a link, and through that link they can simply fill the data and submit. So after that, it can go through a series of approvals from your side. And once approved, that can create vendor or the customer automatically in your system. Okay, that's the way we can do it. And also we have some OCR capabilities in this one to scan your GST document or the MSME certificates and all that type of validations also possible. Whatever the evidences they are attaching or the cancel checks and all, those capabilities also will help you to minimize your time of verification. The system will apply its own intelligence. And RFQ process is a lightweight RFQ process we are having. It's not like Ariba or some other tools, which is a lot of features which are not required to you. So it's a very simple and lightweight tool. With the RFQ process, you can invite the vendors, either existing vendors or the external vendors. No need to create a vendor before inviting them for RFQ. Simply add their email ID and phone number. They will receive a RFQ proposal request. They can open it. They can log in, and even these RFQs can be auto created from your purchase requisitions of SAP. The data will flow here, or these RFQs can be created from the manually also. Instead of PR, you want to create altogether a new independent RFQ. You can create that, and multi-currency handling, all those can be handled from here. And once the data comes, the negotiation, everything can happen from here. No need to do offline negotiations. If you want to return back to the vendor asking for the better quotes or the no regret quotes and all, they just need to log in and they need to submit their quotation again. Or if any missing documents are there that will be returned to them, they can attach the documents, supporting documents. So all that can happen from the system through the workflow. So entire information is digitized and versioned. That means you have a proposal version 1 from the vendor, then version 2, version 3, version 4. So maybe a 1 crore quote became 90 lakhs or 80 lakhs. That means you save 20 lakhs. That information will also be recorded in the system. The whole will become a transparent process. And also the awarding is also flexible. We can award by full RFQ or the item-wise RFQ or partial item also. You can award to 2 vendors or 3 vendors like that. Vendor invoice management. That is like invoice processing. You can automate through here. Vendors can upload their invoices against the PO or against their ASNs and all, and that will go through the it's like validation with the GRN and PO and government data and all. If everything okay, then approvals will happen. Once approval happen, it will create a MIR7 or Miro in SAP directly, so that you can save your time of data entry of supplier invoice in the system, and also you can eliminate the missing invoices in the system. That happens a lot of times on the purchasing side. After 2 months, we realize after the 2 months, if the vendor follows up, then we realize this invoice is not recorded, but the MM period is closed or something like that. You post in that particular month. So those type of things can be eliminated because you can see the backlog of invoices very easily in the system, how old they are and all with the age. So you can act in a better manner. ASN and gate pass, advanced shipping notes can be given by the vendors. Based on that, you can issue the gate pass. You can plan the further things better. And QA data collaboration is an important feature. So it's like if there are any quality rejections or quality parameters or you observed bad, and all that information can be from SAP, it can be pushed to this portal along with the GRN data and all. Then vendors can see the real-time information in terms of what the problem with their quality aspects of the supplied material and how much is accepted, how much is rejected. And in case of any rebate case is there, then you can share the rebate information also, so they can understand how much they are going to get. So it's almost like no need to. It's like you are eliminating the dependency on your people to address this information over calls or emails or WhatsApp. So all that can be eliminated. That the system address all the stuff. Service contract management. They're typically different milestone based or different milestones or different progress are there. Different types of activities. So all those can be tracked through the service contracts, and also based on the milestone achievements, vendors can update the progress and submit the bills. Those bills can go for the approvals. Once approved, you can create the SES automatically. If you want to directly from the system to SES. If you want to automate, that can be possible. And also MIR7 Miro can be created. Partner rating and performance is most important thing, because the feedback is the most important thing. As and when anything happens, we need to collect the feedback from different sources. So these feedback can be used to auto define the rating of a partner. Either it can be your employee, or it can be your supplier or the customer or whoever it is. Those ratings we keep capture and made it available for you. So with the help of these ratings, you can take some improvements of the, either in terms of process or in terms of your people improvement, or the anything to change that can be introduced, because every stakeholder satisfaction is important as part of this particular journey. Customer orders module will take care of your distributors or the dealers or the from customers intent capturing, or the PU, like the purchase order upload from their side to your system, and that will automate to the SO creations in your SAP, or someone review it and then it will go for SO creation automatically. That means complete distillation is happening from the customer indent level to SO, and after that SO, then the other things will happen in your SAP ERP as per the process, like dispatch or the deliveries, OBDs, and the PGA and everything will happen, right? So those things can be automated through the system, and any dispatches happen or any planning happens, those updates also you can push back to the customers, so that they can feel the real updates. And because it's a system integrated thing, so they can receive the updates time to time, and also they can plan better from their side. And also you can engage your transporters from the system, and with the different bids. Suppose you want to go for the on-spot booking of transporters, you have 10-20 different agencies. You can invite them with the itinerary, so that they can submit their bid or the quotation. Based on that, your logistics team can pick the right transporter and award this. And also the transporter can update their vehicle details, LR details, and everything in the system itself. And once the goods are, and also you can collect the evidences in terms of the whether what we have loaded in the truck and all, so that instead of you write on paper and signatures and all, you can eliminate those stuff as well here. And once the transporter reaches the partner site, like customer site, they can also again upload some visuals of the vehicle. Also, they can collect the POD, proof of delivery, from the customer in a digital manner, or on behalf of customer, the transporter can also give. It depends on your business process. There are various alerts in terms of PO delays and all, or the different KYC reminders and all. Master data management, payment updates. So no need of follow-ups of payments to you. So automatically they can see what is the due date for that payment, when they can expect it, what status the payment is, and all can be seen by the party within the system. And they can access their own statements as well. It's like a payment statement, or it's like vendor account statement, customer account statements, and all. And ERP updates. So these are tightly integrated with SAP system, and for other ERPs also it's integratable. Okay, so these are some of the validations we have already enabled, but we are open to enable a few more validations based on your requirements. Okay. So already we discussed all these points, and just quickly skipping them. Okay, most of these points are already discussed. Okay, so I would like to turn on the Q&A session, and if anyone want to see the demo of P-Collab, please feel free to reach us. You can, if you have any queries about digital supply chain journey, or you want to discuss anything about how you want to plan it and all, you can feel free to reach me on kumar.net@incresol.com. That's my email ID. Anytime you can reach me, I'm more than happy to assist you in planning your roadmap for digital supply chain. So we are all, as part of this digital supply chain. The next week we are planning a paperless bills process automation within SAP. There is nothing but no outside system. Directly within SAP, you can do the whole automation. We have a solution for that. So we are going to discuss a bit about it in the next webinar. And next, it is on 25th October. I think it's post Durga Puja. So based on the enrollments, if no enrollments, we are going to change the date. But tentatively, we are sticking with this date for now. So digital transformation of gate operations and payment process. This is also another big gray area in many companies. We observed a lot of registers at the security gate, around 10, 20 registers. And if the security gate changes, it's hard, it's a nightmare, and it's hard to educate them, right? So there we have done a lot of digital transformation. This whole vehicle movement within the plant, that whole process we have automated in different organizations. With that knowledge, we would like to share some of the insightful session on that. That is also part of your digital supply chain process. Okay, so many more are on the way. Okay, so hope you enjoyed the session. So I would like to hear Q&A. Kiran, over to you, and you can read out the questions if any already published.
Thank you, Nandi. Yeah, there are few questions in the queue awaiting for your valuable insights. Let me read out. The first one is, can we integrate with SAP WMS system?
Yeah, very well, we can do that. So because at end of the day, that's like WMS is one extension to your inventory, right? So that's very well possible. We can do that. But we'd like to understand the exact use case of integrating with WMS, then I can answer it better.
Okay, fine. So the second one is, what all the SCM features are covered in P-Collab?
In P-Collab, whole supplier journey is well covered in the P-Collab supplier side of journey, like supplier onboarding, supplier KYP or the KYC, we can say know your vendors and all. That whole journey is there. And RFQ process is well streamlined. And also we have the vendor invoice management or supplier invoice management. We have the purchase order management or the PR management is there, and quality data exchange. And like that we have, and the feedback, vendor ratings and all possible. If you have a third party vendor ratings, that also can be loaded to the system so that vendors can see it, and the buyers can get an alert if they are, when they are awarding those to those vendors, okay, saying that okay, this vendor has a poor rating, still you want to go with that vendor and all, okay, when they are awarding from the RFQ or somewhere. So like that we covered pretty well on the supplier side. Customer journey is in a progress that I can say. We have a customer identity capturing is there, and customer onboarding is there, and we were dispatch updates and the payment updates. This much is there, but we are trying to improve a lot in the customer journey. The customer, like a proof of delivery is a little bit there, so we want to extend it a lot. And the transporter journey also minimalistic now, but we are adding a lot of features in the transporter journey also. Like they can upload the bills against a specific itinerary, then they submit a bunch of bills at the month end, right? That process is under development now. That will help you to save a lot of your accounting team time, because you receive 100 bills from the same transporter. The reconciliation is a big challenge, right? So that we are trying to eliminate. So that's the other in the coming months. So that type of features are on the way. And coming to your employee journey, I think most of the things are covered. So these are the key things covered in this particular with respect to the supply chain process.
Perfect, Nalini. How to use RFID in SCM process? With few examples, please.
Okay, that's an interesting question. I forgot to mention the use cases. Okay, thanks for asking that. So the RFID is a very interesting thing to use as part of your digital supply chain process journey. Okay, it's like if you have any sensitive goods, for example, in the store there are some costly motors are there, okay, or some costly material is there, and there can be a chance of misutilizing that inventory, or there can be a misplacement chances are there. So those cases, without entering anything in the system, so you want to digitize it. That means automatically the system should capture the movement of that particular part or a material or anything. Then you can attach RFID tag to that particular and feed it to the system. Okay, this particular tag is associated with this particular X material and stored in this particular inventory. That while you are keeping in the inventory, you just attach it, and whenever that material moves across the plant, then automatically there will be RF scanners across the plants, so that can be read automatically. Okay, so the information will be clear at what time and this material was picked up and moved to where. So it's a whole. It's like RFID is not a one place work. It's like a whole factory wise. You need to enable the RF scanners and all. Then you can achieve a good results. Like in more of the gate movements wise. And another is like a manless beverage. That's another good use case. So now companies are preferring to go with that. So instead of depending on a security personnel or a beverage operator 24/7, so people want to go for a manless beverage. There, it's either it can be a FASTag based beverage automation or can be a dedicated RFID based beverage automations. Like when the truck comes on the beverage automatically detects the vehicle based on the RFID signal. Okay, saying that, oh, this RFID is associated with this vehicle 1234. So it will capture that vehicle's information, and against that it will capture the your system, your ERP might be having already some information about that vehicle. It's coming to pick up some goods or going to bringing with some raw material and all. So that information, it will correlate that information. It will automatically capture it as a tear weight or the grass weight. It will interpret it, and the weights will be captured and automatically push it to SAP. So here, zero manual activity. The driver and also the camera captures all the pictures at a time. So that's also another part of it's like digital supply chain process only. The CCTV IP-based cameras or the number recognition cameras. So they are going to help you to identify the right vehicle only came on that. Someone don't tamper the RFID. So like that, there's another use case. So RFIDs are not so costly nowadays. So considering that customers are preferring to, or the business are preferring to use it, hardly in 5 to 10 rupees or the 20 rupees you can get a tag. It depends on the usability or reusability aspects. So mostly that will be used for traceability and also automation. 2 areas it will be used.
Is OCR available for P-Collab invoice processing?
Partly available, I can say that. Okay, so we are able to recognize the e-invoice and all those data, and we are going to verify with them through OCR only. But we are improvising that OCR engine to automatically almost zero data entry aspect from the partner. When they upload the scanned copy of invoice, the system should automatically create the invoice with most of the data, and vendor should review it and then correctly do it and start off. So that's the goal, but we are halfway through that. And none of the OCRs are at that perfection level, but definitely we are trying to achieve it based on the huge data we are handling currently. So that sample use case are helping us to machine learn our systems better than many other providers.
Yeah. Finally, the last question: what authentications and security measures are in place?
Okay, so authentication and security measures in terms of information access, if I understand correctly. So it's like the authentication mechanism is most of the times it's a email and user ID based user and password based authentication mechanism with the two-factor or the captcha based control. Okay, so that we can avoid the bots accessing your system or trying to knock on your system. And security mechanism wise, the encryption of the sensitive information is there, and also data at rest. Data at rest in the sense the data residing on the disk, right? That is encrypted. Even someone reaches the data at the disk level, but it's an encrypted AES encrypted data, so that can be decrypted only using the keys by the application. So considering that the data is safe. And we are open to adopt any security specific standards required by the customers. We can do that.
Yeah, there is one more question. Can I get a copy of this presentation?
Definitely, you can share across to them, because we are more than happy to share the knowledge. The intention of this webinar is to give the awareness and knowledge to the customers. So we definitely can share this presentation.
Exactly. Done with Q&A sessions, Nalini. Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, then I think we are 6 minutes past to the planned time. Okay, so thank you all. Thank you very much for your time. Thanks for participating in this webinar. Hope you got some insights, valuable insights. And we'd like to see you in the upcoming webinars as well in the next week and next week on the digital supply chain journey. And till then, bye. Have a nice evening.
Thanks, Nalini.
Thank you.
If you need any more assistance or any further questions in future, please feel free to reach us at info@incresol.com.
Yeah,
Thank you.
or
Thank you once.
anything is fine. Yeah, they can reach.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you all. Thank you very much for your time. Bye-bye.
Bye.